Welcome, 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 everyone, and welcome to
The husband,
the wife,
the issues. You didn't say it with me. You missed it. The husband,
the wife,
the issues. There
okay,
we go.
You got it.
There we go. Assalamu alaikum to everyone that joined. Sister Pamela, Sister Tamara, a few others. I'm sorry I saw it go by. I want to welcome to today's topic.
Yes, today is a very fun topic, something definitely near and dear to my heart. So, walaikum salam, Sister Pamela. We see you.
Yes, ma'am. We want to let everyone know that there are some rules that we have. No cursing.
Yes, no cursing. No derogatory phrases or statements.
Yes.
You are free to ask questions, but please keep it positive.
Yes, and be mindful. And also like us on YouTube. And to our YouTube audience, we have a Periscope. On Periscope, you can find us every Tuesdays
and Saturdays.
And Tuesdays is more our laid back day with our topics, being like today is cuffing season.
Mm-hmm. And Saturdays we'll talk about something more serious. Like last week we talked about the boycott. Next week we're looking at talking about racism on college campuses.
Oh yes, it's going to get hardcore. We're bringing it. And as always, please, if you have questions, please ask them away. Appreciate the hearts. Any question, we take them and we encourage all audience dialogue.
Yes, we definitely.
So let's get into this cuffing season.
Yes. So starting out, Artiium, what is cuffing season?
Well, now I can give you two definitions.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with the one, the real definition.
Oh, okay.
From the brother's perspective.
Oh.
Cuffing season. Well, on the streets, it is a term they use when it's getting cold. People want to be, with the other. You don't want to sleep in that bed alone because it gets cold. So this is the terminology that they use on the streets. But however, today's show, we're going to raise it to another level of elevation and enlightenment. So what is cuffing season to you from the sister's perspective?
Well, honestly, it's about the same thing. Cuffing season, like you said, it's getting cold outside. People are lonely. Oh, thank you for your comments. It's getting cold outside, so people want to be with somebody. You can't just be outside and see everybody available. You want to have somebody that you're with that you can go back home to and, for all purposes, sleep with, so you're not sleeping by yourself.
But is it worth it, though? Do you think a person with standards or any type of knowledge of, any type of love will want to relegate to a particular season? Like, why do you think we put ourselves in this situation just to a season now? Because we all know when the summertime comes, springtime, brothers back in the gym pumping iron because you're going to go catch the sisters with those sundresses.
Don't talk about those sundresses. Now, you know what? I think for women, we don't actually intentionally become cuffed just for a season. I think that men are maybe looking for someone to kind of cuff for that time, and women are always looking to be in a relationship. So they might think, oh, okay, this guy really likes me, and not realize that they've gotten themselves in a situation where it was only for the winter time. And when the spring comes, it's over. I don't think they realize that that's what's actually taking place. So
are you saying that there's a lack of communication as far as, because, we have absolutely, we have a way of mixing up. I know as brothers, we like to use the illusion that we're in love because in all truth and honesty, we just want the draws, honestly. If a brother's not stepping to you correctly, he is really after one thing, and the minister teaches that we're an overcrazed, sexualized society. So what's correctly? What is correct?
Because, is he saying, yo, baby, yo, come over here, or, ooh, look at that? What's correctly?
You got to hit the sister with some Quranic verses. Let me stop. No, coming correct is actually, it's not taught. It's a lost art in this day and age. Us giving the teachings, coming correct is actually coming to the sisters that you're interested in, her father.
But wait, isn't that lame? Like, I just want to talk to her. Why not I gotta talk to her father?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was very hard. I was like, you know, I gotta step to her. Then I thought to myself, what kind of man would I want stepping to my daughter? You know, if I was blessed to be able to have a daughter. I think just looking at that, the level of respect that it shows that coming to the head of the household. I know being 100. Now, I came to my wife. This is my wife. I came at her in her DMs. But I want to give a shout out to Sister Tamara, who was so helpful in bringing us together. She was a righteous helpful. But I came at my wife in her DMs. And
direct messages, by the way.
Yes, on Twitter. We are a Twitter couple. We met on Twitter.
That's how we met.
Through the wonderful vessel, Sister Tamara in Michigan. Shout out to Sister Tamara. And then my future wife checked me right then and there. She was like, well, brother, if you really want to get to know me, there's a proper procedure. And that, in our world, that procedure involved courting. Now, Aqueelah, some people want to know, what's the difference between courting and dating? And if you're courting, are you still cuffed?
Well, as far as courting and dating, for me, not for me. The definition of courting and really doing the process correctly, it's really about the seriousness. You're going to the person, talking to not just them, but their family, trying to figure out what the person's actually like. If the person from jump is suitable for marriage, that means you're not talking about a lot of the sexual things, but you're really trying to get to the heart and the mind of the person. You don't want to waste time talking about, oh, my favorite color is this, and I like these types of movies. You can find lots of people that like the same type of movie as you, and like to skate as you, and like to walk on the beach as you. But can you spend your life with that person? Walaikum salam, Brother
Hannibal from Phoenix. Thank you for joining, my dear brother.
We see you. Ask questions too if you like.
Yes. Again,
make comments.
Yes, comments, questions. That's a good point. In dating, where you just go in a situation with the, just saying that this could be serious. I think that level of communication is crucial. I know as a brother, I was a young player.
Shout out to the players.
Those days are done. But it was crucial on, like, it's like the hamster in the wheel. You would hold out just enough what the sister wanted without giving her what she wanted. And it was
What do you
fun.
mean? Like, what can
Well,
you do?
when you're dating, you're doing all the right things that appears to show you are interested. Because if you were serious, you would have, approached the sister to her father. You would talk about the right things. You're just doing enough to keep her around, and that's what it is. That's what it is right now. So, dating is like the fad right now. It's like, it's no big deal to date.
So we have a question from Periscope. The sister asked, "What attracted you to your wife?"
That's a great question, Sister Pamela. And we got another question too. Please mind for that question. But what attracted to my wife, in all seriousness and truth, I was at a point in life that I had to understand myself, and I wanted to get serious with my relationship with my Creator, and being a Muslim under the teaching of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, the guidance of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. There's a procedure, and I wanted a sister who wanted to be spiritual, not just the religious aspect, but wanted to grow. Because I think spirituality is a journey that starts out in the religion. And then when she checked me, honestly, when my wife checked me to do it right,
I had to do it.
I knew I wanted that one. Because if she didn't check me, I could probably get my way, and that's what I was accustomed to. These big brown eyes, was it was easy to get over with certain sisters back
That's why
in the
you have
day.
to lower your gaze, because the brothers will try to get you.
Yes, so I got
try to look at you.
Yeah, so I got to stay away from Brother Hannibal.
So the other question that one of our audience members asked was, what do you do if she doesn't have a father?
Oh, if she doesn't have a father.
Or a father in her life.
I know we are talking, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you would go to the nearest, another male figure in the family, maybe an older brother.
Or a brother.
A brother.
And also with that, you can go to the person's pastor or minister. And the reason for that is you want to find a male in this woman's life that cares about her in a non-sexual way, so that he can actually look and examine the brother and make sure that the brother is serious and not just trying to play with the woman.
You know what? Get a lot of sisters, and I'm speaking from the brothers. And if any brothers out there want to correct me, if I'm telling the truth, brothers, send me some hearts. But a lot of things that gets a lot of sisters, and just speaking from a brother that just used to manipulate feelings, patience. I don't think a lot of people have patience. Because if you make a brother stick around long enough, you will truly see his motives and intentions. Because that's a player, quote unquote, doesn't have time to waste. So I think that gets a lot of sisters. Your opinion on that? What's up with the patience?
Well, see, the other thing about that too for women is we have to understand that we need to be patient too, because if you're just, well, as I say, fast or quick, then you get yourself all attached and caught up, all in love because you had sex with the person, when really that's all the person wanted, and now you're very attached to this man because of the hormones that you released in your body. But the person is long gone, and really you might not even like him, but you're still attached to him because you had sex with him. So that's another important thing too for people to realize, that men and women's bodies are not set up the same way.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me there's no sex while dating? I thought that helps you find out if this is the right person. Like, you gotta see what the sister or brothers are working with, right?
Right. Sister Tamara said soul ties. Yeah, when you sleep with a person or you have intimacies, well, I should say when you have sex with the person, it creates in your body, male and female, an attachment. And what happens is it's not just, a lot of times people say soul ties and they think that's something that's religious or something like that, but it's a very real biological connection that you create with another person. And for women, I believe it's called oxytocin. If someone knows, if I'm saying it wrong, if someone knows it right, please correct me. But it lasts for 4 days in women and it lasts for 4 hours in men.
Wow.
So it's a real connection, physical, biological, that you create when you have a sex with a person. So if you do that before you even find out if you actually like them, your body will continue to tell you that this is the person I'm supposed to be with, when really you should have nothing to do with that person except for maybe business or something like that. Or maybe not even that. You might not even like them at all.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's a very real thing that we have to consider when we let someone into our lives.
So there's a science even with the interaction between the two, male and female.
Yeah, so it says, how do you know if you are compatible to be married?
That's a great question, Sister Pamela. Again, we are, to our YouTube audience, we are taking questions via Periscope. I think it all depends on, well, for me, I think the level of maturity of understanding yourself and along your spiritual journey where you are at. And understanding, starting with yourself. What do you love about yourself? Because that's what you're going to give to the other person. And so I know with her, I was looking at questions, do we agree on the same principle? I mean, not question like, what's your favorite color? We both tend to like lavender.
Yeah, we have the same favorite color.
It's not like, oh my God, she's the one. She loves lavender. Let me tell you. No. I dealt with questions like I wanted to pick around, like, for instance, I asked her, what is the most expensive gift you've gotten, and was it the best gift you got? Because I wanted to see what did she value? Did she value the price?
So really, he was trying to see if I was a gold digger.
That too, because
that's what he was trying. He's not trying to say it, but that's what he was trying to do. He was like, "Oh, okay. So was that an expensive gift? You like that, huh? Oh, okay."
You understand?
This is real, guys.
I don't have big pockets. If I have pockets like Brother Hannibal, I would have. That wouldn't be a problem. But starting off finances is real, and sisters gonna want things. So I had to see, did she value the gift as the price, or did she value the principle of the gift, the heart that it came from? So you had to take these serious questions, like, what is your understanding of God?
So what advice do we give brothers and sisters who are about to get married, and how do you handle the budget?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. So what advice would you give brothers and sisters about to be married?
Me, the advice that I would give is to remember that even in a courtship, you think you've asked all the right questions and you know this person, this is great. Just realize that when you marry the person, there are things that you didn't see. You don't get to see the whole 360 of the person until you're married to them. So I think the biggest thing that we faced when we got married is that the compromise thing. Like everyone talks about compromise, but you don't really know what that means until you have to do it. I mean, it's not necessarily, oh, I never get my way, you never get your way, so that's a compromise. No, it's really, you have to literally sit down and talk about it and understand that just because he does it a different way than you, sisters, it doesn't mean that his way is wrong. And vice versa. You have to really listen to what the other person is saying. And that, I mean, go ahead.
Wow, that's a big one. That's a big one. So do you think there's enough listening going on during this cuffing season?
I say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading the question.
Do you think there's enough listening going on during this cuffing season? Because, I mean, I think, showing the fact that you want to be cuffed, excuse the language, but showing the fact that you want to be in a relationship, I think that's huge. The communication key. Now, we've only been married 3 months. 3 months. So we're still new. So we're very still new. Some of the advice that I would give the brothers, be patient. Make her mad. I know that's a big one, but make her mad. Why? Because you're going to see colors on both sides. The minister actually teaches us how we handle
that too, sister.
How we handle.
It's really important actually to see how the person is. To see if they're crazy, because they might be crazy. The person, because when people are in love and feeling good about everything, even though the person that you marry is supposed to make you feel that way, they're not always going to feel that way. What if you marry a man that is wonderful, but he doesn't really handle stress well, and he throws things when he gets mad? So you come home one day and your TV is broke because he threw a cup at it. And then you have to think, how mad will he get if he would do that? So you really have to see, how does this person handle stress in real life? You have to. The reason why I think that people think that marriage is hard is because life is hard. And life, there's going to be times when you're very disappointed, where you're mad, where you think it's the end of the world. What if he loses a job? What if you lose your job? These are things that are real and do happen. I'm trying to think, my family now, with the economy and everything else, I think most of the people in my family have lost their job. The head breadwinner has lost their job. What are you going to do? Are you going to fall apart?
That's a very good, very, very good point. And I also think how you handle disappointment from both parties. Mr. Farrakhan teaches us that how we handle disappointment,
it brings out the best
or the worst in the person. So maybe sometimes you have to set up a moment where, I know our courtship was long distance, and then you've been waiting, you've been going on for a month, and then you tell them coming, and then things fall down, or you make them appear as if they fall down. See how she handled it.
He got me like that when he proposed. I was so upset.
So you have to see how they handle disappointment. Because it's so hard when you're going through, because in your eyes, this person can't do nothing wrong. And that's where you're wrong. Yes. Because they are not perfect, but you're going through that illusion that, oh my God, she can't do no wrong. She smiles on the phone, the way she says, Assalamu alaikum. You're like, oh my God. So, or however she greets you, to my Christian family out there, awesome, that just means peace. So, it's those things. It's that study guide 18.
Yes, rising above emotions.
Yes.
Definitely. It's a big thing. And another question I was asked was about the budget. If I were to answer that question, I really think that, to be honest, that was something that while we were recording that I didn't really know how to address and how to talk about. And we didn't really start talking about it until towards the end. But I really think, to give advice to someone else, is that you really have to take a look at what that actually means. How does the person that you're going to be married to spend money? How do they save money? What do they think is important? What do they think is not important?
Yes.
And then if things are tight, what is worth sacrificing? What's not? Because we talked about something simple like cheese. Both of us really like cheese. So if money is tight, cheese is not something we're not going to get. We're still going to buy cheese.
Not something she's not going to get.
But,
I'm going to buy some cheese.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. We won't get it.
Okay.
So because both of us really like it, that's not something that we're going to do, but we might give up I don't know, something else that maybe one of us likes but the other one doesn't. So you really have to. I know that was like a silly
His
thing.
wife hates cheese. If you love cheese, then you're a good brother. She hates it because sharing cheese. Let's be honest.
I know he's so mean. He doesn't want me to eat the cheese.
It sounds like a small issue, but small issues, if not handled properly on communication, can turn to a big one. For instance, she hates when I imitate the way she speaks. Like I will sometimes say she has her white girl moments. So I always imitate, like I will copy what she says, and she told me time after time she doesn't like it. So I have to be careful and make sure I take into consideration the things she bothers her. That's another thing as brothers. What bothers your spouse or your girlfriend? Whatever bothers them is important enough. It's important enough for them to bring up. Then we have to sit back and realize just because it's not a big issue to us, it's still a big issue to them if it was big enough for them to bring it up. So that's what
vice versa. Especially for men, because in the men that I've been around and seen, they don't really complain a lot. So if they do say something, it's because it's a problem. So just like you said, even though it might not seem like a big deal to you, if he's bringing it up, you should pay attention to it. Well, at least why is he saying it? But there was another question about sharing the bathroom people were asking. And I was just thinking, people have different habits. So that's actually a question you should ask. Do you you comb your hair? Do you leave that in the sink? Like, what's good? Like, you actually need to ask questions like that, because for some people, it might not be a big deal. They might just, all right, my spouse is messy, let me just clean this up. Other people might be really mad because they don't like to keep their bathroom like that. So you need to ask everything. This is the person you're going to be living with for the rest of your life. You need to know what their habits are. You just throw your clothes in place and expect me to pick them up? Like, you need to know. Maybe you don't mind picking up clothes, but maybe you really do and you think it's horrible.
And you got to compromise too. Like, for instance, I love washing dishes. I don't know what it is. To me, washing dishes is so therapeutic.
I do not like washing
dishes.
Get
in there, I put on my Pandora, I wash away. I hate washing clothes. She loves washing clothes.
I do.
And she hates washing dishes. So we just happen to fall into play.
All right, so we're gonna get back a little.
Yeah, go ahead. We have want to let the listening audience know. Like us again. Like us on YouTube. I was gonna say Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The husband.
The wife.
The issues. We're only at 30-minute broadcast. We didn't want to be too long, but we thank you for your time. We have 7 minutes. So if you have any questions, we thank everyone for their questions. I know she may have some closing points or some questions to ask. So yes, ma'am.
So what can we do to avoid just being cuffed for the season?
What can we do to avoid being cuffed?
Well, just for the season.
Just for the season.
Because you might want to be cuffed for life.
Oh yeah. You want to get that ring on that finger if that's the goal. Well, first I would start by having standards. Don't go in something.
People tell me that standards can be too high, and then nobody will like it.
That's no such thing. That's like saying I'm too great. No, the standards are not too high.
I'm too great.
Your standards might not be high enough to recognize your own greatness in you. But no, if a guy says a woman's standard is too high, it means
I don't like you guys.
That's a big light bulb that he's not.
He's just not that into you.
He's not the one. He's like, oh, her standard's too high. But then he's not on the one. Yes, put a ring on it before cuffing. Don't let him just cuff you without a ring. Like that's why he got the term boyfriend. He's still thinking as a boy. I remember when I was dating, I'm still thinking as a boy, because a man doesn't run, as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches. A man doesn't run from his responsibility. Once you reach that point, you won't hurt. You take on that responsibility. So don't just settle for being cuffed. Like, who wants to be cuffed when you can get married? Shout out to all the married couples and those who are love is in the air.
Yeah, and for those seeking it, because I know I'm pro love.
I'm pro love. I'm pro love. Definitely pro black love. Now wait a minute, I got a question. What if two conscious people? Here we go. Two conscious people are trying to cuff, and this boycott is coming on. What goes on?
Well, are you trying to say should we buy them a gift or not?
Yeah. Do you get gifts if you're boycotting?
I'm married, so it's a little different. But if somebody was talking about you need to buy me a Christmas gift, I'd be like, you're not really down, brother. Hold up.
No.
This is justice or else we redistributing the pain. I'm not buying you no gift.
So for all
you gotta go to a black business and stop playing these games.
For all my single brothers out there who want to be players, this is the perfect time to say you're participating in the boycott, so you can't buy your woman any gifts. Shout out,
saying, "Oh, I'll spend some time with you, sweetheart, because we're boycotting."
Exactly. So,
but if you really want to gift sisters, just let them know about the Black Mall or Purchase Black, so she can buy you something from a black-owned business.
So we want to end on our announcements. And when is this boycott that we're talking about for all those that are cuffing?
Yes, we're not cuffing and seeking marriage.
Yeah, that's right. We're not cuffing.
So the boycott is from Black Friday, which is November 27th, into January 2nd.
Again.
That means all the way past New Year's Day. January 2nd.
Point announcements as we're wrapping up our program. Boycott, redistribute the pain, justice or else. November 27th through January the 2nd. And our next topic, also, if you have any topics for Saturday program is a little more serious. Right now, we are thinking about doing our racism still exists on college campuses.
Yes.
So we got a little
PWI versus HBCU.
Yeah, PWI versus HBCU.
I know both of us attended both. We both went to PWIs and HBCUs. The experience is very different.
Yes.
Anybody tells you it's not doesn't know what they're talking about. It's very different. Yeah,
so please make sure to tune in every Tuesdays and Saturdays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, if you have a show that you're doing or whatever, please follow us. We follow back. We want to spread the love, and we want to support all those who are doing something. You know, I love tuning in to meeting new Periscopers. Checking out channels.
So is it called Periscopers, guys, or is it Periscopers?
I don't know what it's called.
People who Periscope, people who watch Scope.
I don't know. Periscopians, maybe. I don't know.
YouTubers, because this is gonna be on YouTube as well.
So, yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube as well. So please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate the love from everyone that tunes in. I know while I'm at work, I don't get an opportunity to catch some of your programs throughout the day. But I'm new to Periscope.
So thank you for joining us.
Scopers, thank you. That's what we're gonna call it, Scopers. So we're more than glad. I love after like 8 most days I just get on Periscope and see who's Periscoping.
I know there's so many cool things.
So many cool things that people talk about. So who needs like cable TV when I got right to Periscope and I can watch all the
real people are doing.
So we follow us. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Well, do you want to be cuffed?
No, I don't want to be cuffed unless there's a ring coming with it. That's the only way I'm being cuffed.
Okay, so
no cuffing this season unless you're getting down and you're doing the big boy thing. So we're not cuffing this season. We're putting rings on it because that's what we do. Cause they say the bands will make her dance.
Bands will make her dance.
Again, see you all, God willing, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Racism.
Does racism exist on college campuses? PWIs versus HBCU.
Yes, and also our website will be coming soon. God willing, it will be up by the Saturday. We'll have a website. So like our subscribe to our YouTube.
Subscribe. Yeah. That subscribe button.
And it's still justice or else. Hey. And until we meet again, it's always about the husband,
the wife,
the issues. Good night.